Okay, so here the final two steps for the design engineering design process. I hope you watched all the videos, and this is the final for a designing process. In this one, we can see that the evaluate and implementation of a solution. As you know that we already find out some solution, design solution, and we have to evaluate to before that to implement. Okay, so how we are going to implement evaluate actually? So by using the testing and verification. Okay, each step we are testing each functions is performing, or each everything we will find out whether it is working or not, each and specifications is correct or not. We are checking actually or testing each and every specifications. For example, if in a fan or if a light is there, actually as you know that there is a I talked about the light which is having a speaker too. Okay, last time. So in that light is speaker is connected inside inbuilt an LED light. As you know, nowadays it is available in the market. So we will check whether this one is if it is in the design mode, then we will check it whether this speaker is working in a proper manner, or whether this remote, if you are using the remote, then the color is changing, the LED light color is changing or not, etc. So there is a testing and verification. Okay, if it is not like that, then we will have to find out whether why it is not, why it is, what is the wrong about that one. Okay, so your potential solution is flawed and back to the previous step to get a workable solution. Okay, if the proper solution, if the proper working is not there, then we have to find out what is exactly the problem. So we will go back to the previous step. Okay, so we will go back to the previous step and find out whether it is working up to that step or not. Okay, then without the proper testing, what happens? It makes costly, you know that. If we are making something like a prototype, so you know that the prototype, building the prototype is very high cost, so than the actual vehicles, actual product. So if the prototype is made and testing is conducted and we found that it is not working, then what happens? It is that amount we are used for to making that product or that prototype is waste. Okay, so it leads to high cost actually. Okay, now the next step is to present the solution actually. So as you know that there will be this is the one of the finest final solution, final step for a design process, presenting the skill. It is actually the related with the communication skill actually. We both written the oral, and we have to communicate the solution is the vital part before that the implementation. For example, if we know how to design, and we all know about this designing process, and the design, after the designing, and we will fail in the communicate to the designer or manufacturer, or something like those who are willing to buy the product. Okay, if we are failing to communicate them, then what happens? Our product is useless, isn't it? For example, okay, not all the pupils have the technical training competence. See, the our uh, product customers, or maybe the product manufacturers actually really don't know how this thing is really working actually. So an example, yeah, maybe there will be some product if it is there, and we are going to launch it into the market, and you know the customers are actually the normal people, they don't know how to this is working or not. So if the designer is not able to proper communicate the functions and all the things, then all the functions and specializations of this product, then it is very fail. Okay, the product will becomes a fail. So okay, so you know that the everyone is not having a highly technical training or the competence. So we have to, the designer should have to a proper communication. Okay, the design engineer should have a proper communication skills too, then he will become the successful engineer. A successful engineer must possess the communication skills. Okay, like for example, how to communicate our product details to the customers or the manufacturers or the those who are the boss actually. Okay, so for example, the engineer should convey his idea or the solution in the design way, using the chart or graph or some other visual media like PowerPoint in presentation or something like. So the designer should or the design engineer should successfully implement the communication in front of them. Okay, then the documentation. Okay, if the proper documentation is not happened in there, then what happens? Someone is designed and other will take the credit. You know that. So the documentation should be the pakka, or the documentation should be the perfect one. Okay, so that is the important final step in the presentation in the solution. So these 5 steps are important in a designing process. So we all discussed about these things, and there will be a flow chart related with this design process. I hope we can do it in the next class. Okay, anyway, thank you.